Hey, welcome to my garden. It is the summer solstice. It's still early in the growing season, but I want to give you a gardening update. The summer solstice is a perfect reason to be outside and enjoy as much sun as we can. The longest day of the year, so there's going to be tons of sun. So I want to show you all my beautiful plants. And again, even though they're not fully fruiting, they're not fully mature yet, but there's still a lot of interesting stuff to show. So hang tight, let's see what I have growing. I saw my first ripe blackberry. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look how big and beautiful that is. First blackberry of the season. Ooh, it went down my throat before I chewed it all. That's delicious. I couldn't help it eating it too fast. Could be sweeter, they'll get better throughout the season. Tons of berries on this one though. Alright, I think I'm just going to walk around and show you what I have growing. This one right behind me is a tomato. It's a soldaki. It was hard to find. One of my favorite YouTube gardeners, James Prigioni, he listed this as one of his 7 must-have tomatoes. I grew it last year for the first time in 2 different spots, and they were huge, delicious red tomatoes, perfect slicers, full of flavor, and they were monstrous too. They were huge. So I have it growing here and over here in a different system. You can see here I just have a square tomato cage, so it's a lot sturdier than those conical circular ones that are garbage. So I have one of them growing here. It's flowering. I don't see any fruit on this one yet, but this one doesn't get as much sun as these 4 tomatoes up on this tall trellis. Do you see this one? I built this out of electrical conduit, and then I just have strings hanging down. And like, this is a perfect example of how I use it. When the tomato gets a little bit long or taller, I just twist it around. And it's gonna hold on. You can see it's all twisty tied all the way down. A whole bunch of tomatoes on this one. This one is a sun gold. I have an Ozark pink right here. That's my shortest little guy. I have an orange peach. I grew this one last year. There's a couple small ones on here. Here's another soldaki, the first one I showed you. But this one has good tomatoes on it already because I started it earlier and it just gets better sun just a few feet away. In the same bed, I have marigolds next to my tomatoes and I have basil next to my tomatoes. Those are both to deter bad insects and attract good insects. Oh my goodness, I see my first pepper. I didn't even know I had a pepper over there yet. So in front of this row of tomatoes, I have peppers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 types of peppers and 2 of each. Which one's that one? We're gonna have to remember that's there for when we go around to the other side. But first I wanna show you this monstrous spaghetti squash. In front I have 2 different types of watermelon. And then this humongous, tripping over my marigolds up front. This monstrous squash back here. I saw some babies. There's one baby right there. Let's walk around and see it. As we get there, I have 2 different types of shiso. Holy cow, there's a lot. Oh, here's a squash. Lots of growth back here. There's a squash. Very cool. Here's one of my green sock towers. I have 2 deep bays, 2 of the originals at the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 the shallow leaves below. I have, look how tiny these tomatoes are going to be. They are red currant tomatoes. It's one of the smallest tomatoes out there. Here's more of them. There's one almost ripe. But then I also have stuff like basil, that's a purple basil, and I have marigolds, and I have other pollinator flowers. I have dill right there. I have mint too. I can smell all this stuff. There's some more basil. There's a different kind. There's spearmint. There's peppermint. Ooh, here's a type of sage. Here's a purple sage. I have all sorts of really beautiful stuff, useful stuff. There's more mint. Oh man, that's growing really tall. I need to start harvesting mint. Ooh, that smells really good. Nasturtiums and marigolds coming in. These will be beautiful in a couple weeks. This whole wall here is grapes. There's 2 grapevines in here, but one of them is significantly bigger than the other one, even though I planted them both at the same time and they're basically the same size. The Emeryville Pink is doing much, much better than the Thompson Seedless. So the Thompson Seedless is a popular green table grape, and the Emeryville Pink is a local variety that I got from a local nursery that I don't know if they came up with the cultivar on their own or if but they sell it, and it's growing really, really well. And we actually have a lot of grapes. Like, look at all these grapes. Look at all those grapes. I planted this last year. We didn't get any significant growth or there was no grapes last year, but now this year it exploded with growth. And maybe there's not grape clusters everywhere, but there's a lot of grapes on this plant already. Super excited about that. Now we're over here to the blueberries. There's actually a bird netting in front of us, so I wonder if you can see the bird netting. I reach my hand underneath the bird netting and get some blueberries. Oh yeah. Alright, fresh blueberries right off the bush. These bushes are 15 years old. I dug them up from a blueberry farm that closed. So good, and they're providing tons of blueberries on these big southern high bush varieties. Alright, let's continue the garden tour. Over here we have plenty of corn. I planted 80 ears of corn. Not every single one came up, but these are already tall. These are already to my waist. I wonder if I can show that. These are already really tall corns. I'm just going to duck down so you can see all of them. And this is Buell. This is a sweet corn that's supposed to provide 2 ears per stalk. So if I have up to 80 stalks here, I could have 160 ears of corn, which is pretty amazing. In just a 4 by 5 foot area, in just 20 square feet. On this side, so I have this trellis right here, connecting one raised bed to another raised bed. This raised bed had mostly corn in it, but it also has cucumbers and runner beans. The runner beans don't look great, unfortunately, but the cucumbers are doing awesome. Still early season, like I said, so there's no cucumbers to show yet, except for those small little guys. Or did I just see that one? Right here. There's another small one down there. We have oregano, we have rosemary. Then on this side of the trellis, on this other grow box, I have more tomatoes. This one is Super Sweet 100. I have a winter squash right here, another winter squash. I already showed you the spaghetti squash. This one's a butternut squash. Let's just come around. Right here I have a medicinal plant. I have a pepper plant, another medicinal plant, and then I have this tower that's just filled with green beans. This one's same brand, so it's green stock, but every one of these is the deep one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And every tier has a different variety of green bean in it. Not green bean, because they're not all obviously green. Like this one's yellow, bush beans. Some of them are purple, like these beautiful dragon tongue. Let's go this way. More tomatoes. That's a Super Sweet 100 next to a Sun Gold. An eggplant that doesn't want to grow. I planted this zucchini super early and we already got lots of zucchini off of it. Here's another nice looking one. But it's already starting to go bad. See, it's giving me a lot of yellow and brown fruit right now. So I think I have to restart my zucchini. Okay, in the front of this bed, let's check out these peppers. Oh, that's jalapeno. Oh, that is a jalapeno already. Cool. I actually have a couple of jalapenos already. Jalapeno, jalapeno. No anchos yet. No shishitas yet. And no Anaheims yet. That's okay. On this far side, this planter box has some living plants, but its main goal is tortoises. It's probably pretty hot. It's hot right now, so they're mostly hiding. Like there's a couple of them. Hi guys. These are my garden tortoises. There's 5 of them in here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see those with my shadows in the way. I love these guys. They're my Herman's tortoises. Let me cover them back up. Put their shade back on because it's hot right now. What else haven't I covered? We're getting our first pomegranates. Several of these flowers look like they were fertilized and are turning into fruits. I have sunflowers like this all over the yard. This is a Mexican sunflower, so it's going to have multiple red heads, multiple red flowers. I have dragon fruit. These are all cuttings from my mom or just friends. And they're all doing really well, growing up this dragon fruit trellis that I built for them. Outside the gate, we have our lemon tree. That's just perpetually filled with lemons. Over on this side, I grow comfrey to make fertilizer. This is an apricot tree, a cherry tree. These are all baby trees over here that's overgrown in this area. I have 4 fig trees and a plum tree back here. Gosh, this is overgrown. I need to come back and clean this up. Up on the top deck, we have our 3rd and final green stalk vertical garden planter. This one's filled with strawberries. Right now I kind of got to poke around to find the good ones because we eat them so fast. Wait, there's one right there. Oh yeah. I love them right off the plant. More strawberries. Woodland strawberries. This is an espalier apple tree. We have some apples growing on it. Which ones are these ones? Those are the Honeycrisp apples. Some beautiful lavender. That smells so good. And I'm trying 2 new banana trees this year. This is red Cavendish and this is dwarf Cavendish and red something. Maybe just red Cavendish. Maybe dwarf Cavendish and red Cavendish. I can't remember. There are 2 different types of banana trees I got from 2 different sources that I'm going to plant over by the lemon tree when I get a chance. Alright, thanks for tagging along and making it to the end. Have a happy summer solstice and get outside and enjoy the long, beautiful summer.